Hi, my name is Leslie Camila Magaña Beltran. I'm cursing the fifth semester in Tec Milenio Campus Ferreria, and today I'm going to talk about the Cold War. The Cold War was a political and ideological confrontation between the United States and the Soviet Union that began between 1945 and 1947 after the Second World War and finished in 1991. Some important events that happened on this time was that in 1945, USA throws a bomb at Japan, affecting Hiroshima and Nagasaki. In 1947, Marshall aid to the west of Europe. In 1948 was the start of the Berlin blockade. In 1949, China becomes communist. In 1952, USA explored her first hydrogen bomb, and in 1953, Stanley died. In 1955, the Warsaw Pact was created. In 1956, Hungary revolts against the USSR. In 1957, Sputnik was launched. In 1959, Cuba becomes a communist state. In 1961, the Berlin Wall was built, and in 1962 was the Cuban Missile Crisis. In 1969, Apollo 11 was landed on the moon. In 1970, started the Vietnam War, and in 1989 was the fall of the Berlin Wall. In 1991 was the end of the Warsaw Pact, which allied communist countries, and also in 1991 was the end of the Soviet Union. Russia formally recognized the end of the Soviet Union. The Cold War is referred to a problem between USA and Soviet Union. Why? Because the Soviet Union wanted to spread its communist ideology to the whole world, which alarmed USA that hated that political system. And it is called Cold War because the United States and the Soviet Union never clashed directly from a military point of view. Also, the two nations were the only nuclear superpowers of the time with the capacity of causing the annihilation of the humanity. Capitalism is an economic system where private entities own the factors of production. The four factors are the entrepreneurship, capital goods, natural resources, and labor. Capitalism requires a free market economy to succeed. It distributes goods and services according to the laws of supply and demand. The law of demand says that when we demand increases for a product, price rises. When competitors realize they can make a higher profit, they increase production. Adam Smith is one of the biggest minds behind capitalism. Socialism is an economic system where everyone in society equally owns the factors of production. It could also be a cooperative or a public corporation where everyone owns shares. The four factors of production are labor, entrepreneurship, capital goods, and natural resources. Socialists consider both individual needs and greater social needs. Karl Marx is considered the father of socialism. Hi, here we are with my classmate Miguel, that we are going to interview him about the Cold War. So, first of all, what countries were the world leaders during this period?
The world leaders during the Cold War period were the Soviet Union, the United States of America, and those were the two main powers.
Okay, and why did countries who were allies during the wars become enemies afterwards?
Were mainly because they both have different interests, and they were afraid of each other. The Soviet Union were afraid of the weapons the United States had at that moment. You know, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they used an atomic bomb, so they were afraid that because they had different interests, they could use those weapons against them. So, and they also, the United States were also afraid that Joseph Stalin, would increase his socialist power in all over Europe.
Okay, and what can you tell me? Where did the Cold War take place?
The Cold War took place in many countries, or mainly in the URSS and the United States, but as we know, there were another socialist countries like China, Korea, and also a big war happened in Vietnam that was part of the Cold War. So those were the places.
Okay, so what opinion did the general public have on the Cold War?
Well, they were afraid. Population of the around the world were afraid that a nuclear war could happen because it would literally destroy a huge part of all the humanity. And I think, yeah, the mainly fear.
Okay, and the last question. What type of weapons did the two world powers have at their disposal?
They were practicing to create nuclear weapons, like weapons with huge uh, death rate, you know, like that could really hurt their enemies.
Okay, so that's all. Thank you, Megan.
It was a pleasure, Camila.
I think that the Cold War was a very bad conflict because of very basic problems of ideologies which go too far, causing bigger conflicts and massacres to society, leaving marks on the history with nuclear arms. It is true that also nowadays we keep making wars or problems of ideology. And I believe that capitalism is a good system, while we can get goods and services from quality. Also, if the price increases, you're buying the quality of the product. And in socialism, it doesn't care about your work or effort, you will get the same that the others.